I asked this to Kim as well, but tell me what was your first introduction kind of to the harmonica?
Well, my dad played harmonica. He played it more or less as a hobby, and he kind of got me interested in playing when I was at one point in my life where I decided I wanted to play a musical instrument. And I'd played clarinet before and a little bit of flute, and so he gave me the idea to look into the harmonica, and it led to a lot of great things.
What was its appeal to you? What did you love the most about the harmonica that made you really want to stick with that over the clarinet?
I think it's a very soulful instrument. It's the sound of it is closest, I think, to a human voice of any instrument, and it's also the only instrument that you breathe through. You get notes blowing into it and also drawing out of it. And every other wind instrument is you just blow in, and that's it. So.
How do you control that, by the way? I've always wondered how.
Well, it just takes practice, like everything. It's. I wish I knew some shortcuts, because they would have helped me. But,
Well, for some beginners starting off, what advice would you have to them in addition to practicing? What are a few key lessons you might have for them?
Just to listen to as many players as they can on records or in person, and try to figure out what they're doing, and if you can learn a little bit of the vocabulary of the instrument, then eventually you can have your own things to say on it.
But what have you had to kind of say in your style on the harmonica itself? What have you brought to the style of the harmonica itself? I mean, each person brings in his or her own flair to it, but what's been Jelly Roll's addition to it?
Well, I don't know. I'm really interested in a lot of different kinds of music, and I try to always pay attention to the song, whatever song I'm playing, and play whatever's needed for that song. And it may only be 2 or 3 notes, but as long as they're the right notes, that's what you want.
I know you've been in demand, but I think the Judge, you play on a lot of theirs, and also on some of the Randy Travis's songs.
Right.
What's the experience like for you in the studio and when you're working with them and trying to add your addition?
Well, it's great. One thing about playing harmonica is a lot of times you're not actually there with the artist. Like they've already done their vocals and the backing tracks, and you come in and add your part to what they call an overdub, and you add their part to what is already there. So sometimes you don't get to meet the artist until later on, which is kind of unfortunate. But I think eventually I've met everybody whose records I've played on. But usually it's just you and the producer and the engineer, and you're working on concentrating on just on your part and where it's going to fit on the record.
Are you kind of doing your own composition and improvisation on most of that work?
Yeah, it's pretty much, most producers in Nashville pretty much let you have free reign, and they want to hear what you can come up with and what you want to add to what's already there. And very seldom do you get like a written part, which is good for me since I don't read music very well. But usually it's it's your own interpretation and feeling they want on the record. So.